I just realized I was muted. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. There we go. Hello. Welcome to our November Make-Along. I'm Shannon with Hero Arts. I'll be doing the Make-Along with you guys today. We're going to be creating these two cards featuring the card kit of the month with the November card kit of the month and the November Color Layering Stencil of the month. Hello, Crystal. Hello, Jan. No sound. I caught on finally, Jan. It took me half a minute to realize I was muted. Hello, Vicky. So these cards are actually not, there's several steps, but I feel like everything's very easy. I'm really excited to share these because there's some techniques in these that I am really excited about, especially this one, something I discovered when I made this card. I'm going to go ahead and change my view and let's go to the desktop. There we go. So there's the card we're creating today. Hello, you're from Tucson. Are we having great weather, Laura? I'm so happy right now. In Arizona, it's beautiful. We finally get a break from the heat. We've actually had several weeks now, a couple weeks now without it being 100, and it's just so nice. Rachel, hello, friend. Hello, Cassie. So we're going to start with this card, but I will warn you, we will bounce around from this card to the second card. And that's because we have to allow some time for drying. But I think it will still go very smoothly, but just be mindful of that. We'll kind of bounce around. And the other thing I wanted to say before I get started here is the instructions for this card and this card as well are up on our blog. The instructions, all the supplies are listed there. It's in a link. You have a sweater on hand, right? Yes, because Laura, right? Our blood gets thin in Arizona. I know. Wait, California people are always Hero Arts California people are always teasing me because I'd be cold and 70, but our blood gets thin. We get used to those 100-degree temperatures. 70 is quite a shock to the system. We need sweaters, 70s sweater weather. Okay, so we're going to start with this card. Oh, and again, the instructions are on the blog. You can go to the Hero Arts blog and you can find all the instructions there. And there is a link in the description below on our YouTube channel, which is where you guys are all at because right now our Facebook is out of order. Hopefully very soon. We're working on it really hard behind the scenes to get our Facebook back in order. It never goes away. Oh, see, Rachel. So Rachel is also, she is in Arizona. She is an Arizona girl as well as in California right now. So she says, yeah, she still feels 70s cold. I feel you, Rachel. We can relate. Laura and I can relate. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is start with a panel of red. This is cherry cardstock. And I do want to note real quick, there was some confusion on the amount or the sheet count of the cardstocks included in the kit. There is actually only one red and one green. And I apologize. A couple of my videos say 2 of each, and that is my mistake. There was a misunderstanding about the sheet count. There's only one cherry and one pine included in the November card kit. So I apologize for that confusion. So I cut that sheet down in half. Really, it can be any red. It doesn't have to be cherry, but you do want to use something with a little bit more weight to it. All the Hero Arts colored cardstocks are heavyweight. They're either 100 or 110, which is awesome. That heavier weight just holds up a little bit better, kind of against the possible warping or likely warping that texture pastes sometimes will cause. So, or in this case, we're going to be using the paste is not actually Hero paste. We're going to be using the Hero wax, which is included in the November card kit as well. Okay, so let's actually start with the paste or the wax. I keep calling it the paste, the wax. So I have 2 here because I've used a lot of my wax already. Let's see. And we'll see. I don't think there's enough there, but we'll try. If not, I have a second. I've been using this wax like nonstop. We are here, it replaying from the beginning. Uh-oh, I'm not sure what happened. Are you guys hearing that? Is anybody else having a problem like Jan? Maybe refresh, but let's see if there's anybody else having a problem. if that's happening, I'm not really sure how to fix it. This seems to be working. No issues. Okay. Jan, try refreshing, okay? See if that sometimes it like double plays. So try refreshing. And see if you have two tabs open. Close one of them. All right. I'm going to get the stencils. I'm going to grab my November card kit here. Ooh. There are two stencils included in this kit, an argyle and a knit. Both of them are awesome, and you could use either one. But what's fun about this argyle one is that you can kind of slide it over. Let's grab the card here. And continue the pattern, kind of double up the pattern. You see where it's darker? That's ink, and then that's the wax. So I did it twice. So we're going to start with the wax. And I'm actually going to do it long ways. So a little bit different, right? I'm going to do it this way. And you know what? I want to grab something that is help me keep my work surface clean. So I'm going to grab this sheet here. And I could use my grip mat, but I guess I'm going to use this instead. Should I use my grip mat? Let's use my grip mat. Since I've got it so dirty already, my core grip mat is well loved and abused. All right, we'll put that down. And I'm just going to center that. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to slide it around. I do want it to be, the pattern to be kind of centered. When I'm looking for centering the pattern, I pick one like part of the design that's repetitive and get it centered between that shape. So I have this like little cross or little X. I'm just going to center my pattern so it has the same gap on both sides. So that's how I know, okay, this is centered. Now we just got to do it on the bottom. There we go. And again, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. Okay, so let's grab our wax and our palette knife. I had one somewhere. I got the metal one out, but I'm not finding where I put it. Oh, here it is. I haven't even started. This is a bad sign. I haven't even started and it's already. Okay, that's what I kind of figured. There's not much left in here, and I think it kind of hardened up. So that guy is gonesies. So we're moving on to our other one. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh gosh, it's so pretty. I love the wax. And again, this was included in the card kit. So that was really fun. I just realized I meant to start with stamping my images, but oh well, it's fine. Start with the wax first. And I do actually have a bowl of water down underneath my table so I can tuck this stencil in because I'm not going to clean it right now. I'll clean it after the live. Okay. I do find that with all my texture mediums, this is my bad habit, but I found that if I work quickly, I have better results. So I'm taking too long. I need to hurry it up here. I'm not going to worry about getting it on these other sections of red because, again, I could trim this down. How are we doing there? All right. I think I have one little spot there I can't get. Okay, I think that's good. Put back what I have. Close it up. Oh, what? You're welcome, Ray. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, yeah, absolutely perfect. Perfect. I have one little blemish right here, but I don't think you'll even see it when we do the next step, which is the ink. So I'm going to toss these into my bowl of water so I can clean them better later. Let's take this off. And I'm going to quickly grab actually my spatula out again real quick and clean up this leftover paste or wax on there. Okay. All right, so we're going to let that dry. So let's just put that to the side. Try to find a safe place. Let's get this. Wow, I kind of like this stuck on here. I might keep it on here forever. That's nice, actually. All right, so the next part was we're going to work on our critter. Aren't the critters so cute in this set? Kay says, I didn't realize the wax could be used like this. Oh, good. I just thought it was, oh yeah, it works for that too. It also works, Kay says she thought it was just for rubbing on the highlights for embossing, which it totally works for that as well, but it can be used kind of like a texture medium as well. So you can, and used with a stencil. So this is great. I'm glad I'm showing you something else you can do with your wax. I'm going to grab some white cardstock. I've got some Hero Arts Dove White. Grab my Misty, of course. Here we are. And let's do a little stamping. So let's grab all of the adorable critters. Here they are. Guys, I feel rusty. It's been a while since I've done a live and I've missed it. So look at those critters. They're so cute. I'm going to do the puppy today, but any one of these critters could work for this card. Any one of them. I think even the squirrel would be really cute. We'll stamp him. And we also want to put a little hat on him. So we're going to grab the Santa hat here. There's also a cute little elf hat. Aren't they adorable, Rachel? And I think they could be used for so many other occasions as well. I think a lot of them, especially like the puppy and the kitty, it could be used for tons of other occasions. Maybe only the reindeers, like really Christmassy. All right, we're gonna do some Copic coloring on these stamped images. So I'm gonna ink them up in Hero Arts Intensified Black ink. This is a alcohol-friendly ink. Stamp super black. And I'll do it one more time. In the present for birthdays, that's brilliant, Laura. Totally. Yes, May, great question. And that reminds me, I was going to say that. Yes, the kit is still available. I think the last day you have to purchase the kit is the 27th. I apologize if I might be wrong on that. It may be the 28th, but just to be safe, I'm going to say the 27th. I'm still getting used to, we're changing the cadence of how we do the kit. And our release is actually all in general. So I apologize if I get the dates a little bit wrong. I'm still trying to get it all committed to memory. But yes, the kit is still available. And if you order now, you'll get it. Basically, it's all there. They'll send it right out. And if you do order the kit before the 27th, you can get, and this is the November kit, not only will you get the November kit, but you will get the December kit as well. Like you start your subscription, so you would also secure your December kit, which I will share actually at the end of this live. I'm so excited. I get to share with you guys the next kit, which is really exciting because that's something we always did in our make-alongs, but it made a lot of sense because the next day we'd always do our make-alongs on Sunday, then the next day would be release. But again, like I said before, we're changing the cadence of our releases. And so Monday won't be the December release, but I will still be able to share the December kit with you. This December kit will be available on the 1st, December 1st. So I'm really excited to share with you guys the December kit. I'm really excited. Stamped this probably way too many times. I don't know. I keep missing the eye here. He's going to be very inky. It's going to take a long time to dry. There we go. Finally. I kept missing that one spot. Okay, I'm going to get this quick wipe. And you know what? I should have stamped. I'm going to go stamp the sentiment as well. I kind of forgot about that. I should have stamped it all at once. We'll stamp it now. I'll give some time for that puppy and the hat to dry a little bit before we do our Copic coloring. And where did the stamp set go again? It's going to be one of those days. I'm going to lose everything a million times. Here it is. All right. Okay, so I did Merry Christmas. I'll do the same thing again. But there's so many other images in this set. And this is just one of the, this is just one part of the November card kit. You have this large 6x8 stamp set with all these critters, sentiments, some additional images, like the hat that we used, some decorative borders. There's the 2 stencils. We used the Argyle one, but there's also the cable knit one. And then there's even a bunch of smaller dies, which we'll use in just a minute here, that allow you to cut out a stocking. There's ones for a mug, one for a teacup, one for a present. So there's so much in this kit. In addition to, I forgot also, the wax, the white hero pearls also included in the kit, as well as 1 sheet of cherry cardstock and 1 sheet of pine. So a ton included in the card kit. The card kits are always such a great value. Hello, Sheila. Welcome, welcome. You caught one. Woohoo! I'm happy you're here. We had my niece had her 2nd birthday yesterday, and it was Disney themed, which was fun. My sister is so creative. She had her party at a park here in Arizona that has a train, and we all wore our Disney ears and our Mickey ears, and even Mickey Mouse came. So that was really fun. We had a nice day yesterday. And the weather, again, we're so lucky right now. It's so nice. It's just so nice. Oh, that's a great idea, Kay. I love that. The fox is so cute. The fox, I agree, is one of the cutest images. Nice, Mary. Awesome. Okay, there we go. So there's my images stamped out. Oh, and I just realized I forgot a stamp set. Forgot to grab one of my something for this live, but we'll get it later. No big deal. Hopefully I can find it. Oh, and I don't have my picture-in-picture. Huh. There we go. I just realized I didn't have my picture-in-picture this whole time. The whole time I could do it. Not that I can look much up at the camera while I do it, but I try. All right, so now we're going to Copic color these, but the ink is still very wet, and even though this ink is a alcohol marker friendly ink, it does need to dry. If it's not dry, then you will get some, like your markers will pick up the ink and make it bleed a little bit. So where do we put this? I don't know. I'm out of room. So I'm going to dry this quickly with my heat tool. So it's going to be a little noisy. Grab this here. All right, I'm going to hope that's dry enough and ready for us to color. All right, let's start with the puppy. I have 4 browns picked out, quite a lot. Let's grab them all. kind of rolled away. Here we go. I'm going to be using E30, E31, E35, and lastly, E37. So those are the markers I'll be using. And again, all this is in the instructions. Ray asked, how did you lower the volume on the heat tool? I didn't. So I noticed that happens too in people's lives. I think that just happens automatically. Like, I think that's something the live does. I don't understand it. I didn't do anything. I think it just happens automatically, which, yay, I love that. I always like to start with my lightest color. This is E30. And just kind of lay that down as the base. We will build on top of this. This is kind of our starting point. And I don't need to color all the way to the edges. Oh my gosh, he has big eyes, so cute. All right, something like that. That looks pretty good. Then we'll move on to E31, one of our mediums. We have two mediums actually in this combo. And I'm going to start bringing it in. Actually, let's put this sample here on the side so we kind of see what we did. And I'm using that feathered stroke where I push down and lift up. So it's a little bit, it gets a lot lighter. And that just helps to make it easier to blend. Oh my gosh, he's just so cute. What do you guys think he is? Is he a golden retriever? Is he a lab? He's just a puppy. I mean, it's hard to tell when they're puppies, right? He's so cute. And there are dyes to, yes, there's dyes for all the animals. Yes, Mary, I didn't show that either. I've completely lost my whole kit, which is a bit of a problem because I do need that later. I don't know how this happens every time. It's like I have everything except the things I need. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. So just real quick. Here are the dies you can see for all the animals as well as all the accessories and the sentiments. Love that. We love that there's dies for the sentiments. The only thing that doesn't have dies are the two like borders, the two little border stamps. These right here, they don't have dies, but everything else does. Or the to and from. The to and from and those two border stamps do not have dies, but everything else does. And then we have that additional set of fancy dies also included in the kit, which I will get to, which is how we cut that stocking. I agree, Kay. You got to have the matching dies. And for the sentiments too, right? Love that. Okay, I'm just back with my lightest color because I feel like I missed a bunch of spots. I was being cautious. I thought maybe my black ink still wasn't quite dry, but it's totally dry. The heat tool totally dried it. I needed to have more faith in myself. Okay, let's grab our next shade, our next medium, which is our darker medium, E35. I agree. It's not too cartoonish. I agree. Hero Arts is good about, I feel like that's kind of like the Hero Arts style is they're a little bit more realistic, but not so realistic that it's like a photograph. Like it looks like it's trying to be, you know, that realistic, like photography, but a nice balance between cute and realism, I think. The designers are so good at Hero Arts too. I love them. Ron and Robin and Minami, they're amazing. Probably getting a little carried away here with the dark brown, but I'll blend it all out. All right. May look a little bit messy, but we'll blend it all out in a bit. And then I'll go to my darkest shade, which is E37. And I have it at the very top. This is where I'm going to do the least amount, just a little bit of this dark brown and some of the darkest, what I would deem like the most in shadow. But again, guys, I am not trying to get super realistic. And I will hold this up to the camera in just a second here so you guys can see. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. He really is a cute little puppy. My girls have started their Christmas lists today. That's exciting. So he totally needs a lot of work, a lot of blending. But I just wanted to show you what he looks like right now before we start blending it all out. So now I'm going to work my way back through all 4 of those markers. So I just finished with the dark. Actually, I should say, work my way back through the lightest shades, the 2 mediums. So let's go to our darker medium again, and we'll start blending out that transition between that E37, which is our darkest, and that E35. Lots of stuffies are on their list. My girls love their stuffed animals. Though my oldest is kind of growing out of it a little bit, which I have to admit is, I used to complain about all the stuffies that they'd always ask for, and now I'm getting sad. Sheila asks, is there a Copic coloring video for beginners anyone can recommend? Oh, that's a great question, Sheila. I know, I'm trying to think of, you know who I learned to color? Kelly Taylor. That's how I learned to Copic color. So I'm sure she joins our Hero Arts blog hops for releases frequently. She's also taught at our Stamp-alongs, but that's who I learned to Copic color from, was Kelly Taylor. Definitely check out her YouTube channel. I think she's so great. And I like how she breaks down coloring. I think she makes it seem much simpler. It doesn't seem overwhelming. And I thoroughly admit I am not the best Copic color, but I think I know I get by. Like I'm at the level where it's like, this is as far as, I'm not trying to get super realistic. I could definitely improve. There's room for lots of improvement, but I'm happy most of the time with how it turns out. But yeah, I would check out, that would be my recommendation, Kelly Taylor. She's really good. Yeah, C. Ray likes her too. I agree. She's really good. She's very funny too, and I really like how she breaks it down. I think she makes it really digestible. So again, I'm on my lighter medium shade. I'm just blending out the transition between that darker medium and the lighter one. And I also think Jen Shirkus does a great job too. Let's see, we have other questions. My coloring skills are just slightly better than normal. I doubt that. I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. So dies come with the kit. Yes, all the dies come with the kit. So far, everything I've showed you besides the Copic markers and the black ink have been a part of the kit, and the white paper, I guess, but yes. These dies come with the kit. There's the wax, the pearls, the red cardstock, green cardstock. These dies, which I will get to, come with the kit a lot. The card kits are always packed with a bunch of stuff. And now I'm on to my lightest shade here, E30. Oh, great. Crystal, is that Jen Shirkus? I think that is because Jen, yeah, that's one thing that Jen does. I think that's so good too. She makes like a list of her most used markers because there's so many Copics. There's so many. So like you would feel like at first you have to buy all these. Like I think we're up to, there's over 100, I think. You don't need to buy all those colors. In fact, I have so many that I bought big sets of Copics. Yeah. Oh, Kelly Taylor has that too. Oh, wow. That's great. I know Jen does too, but yeah, that's a great resource. Those are both great resources. That's nice that they do that. I think I'm going to, I think he looks pretty good. I went a little bit darker with this one. I could go back in with a couple more colors. A little bit more. Kind of work it out a little bit. Oh my gosh, she's just so cute. And then Sandy Alnick, she's really good. Grace asks, can you tell me the difference between Hero Arts Intense Black and Hero Intensified Black? I get this question a lot, and you know, I think I always forget the answer, but I believe it's just the Intensified is just darker, a little bit darker, because I don't actually own Intense. And I always forget the difference. Let me pull it up real quick. I think that's the only difference. Somehow I never got an Intense Black. Don't ask me why. I don't think you actually have to upgrade, Ray. I don't actually think that's necessary. But I do think the Intensified Black is more black. Pulling up Intense. Let's put this away. I get pop-ups. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Intensified, which is what I have, is just a little bit darker. That's all. So it can totally be so overwhelming. I know. Yeah, I get it. Especially with all the things, like for me, when I started, I refused to buy Copics. I refused. They were just too expensive. I couldn't justify it. I just felt like I can't justify that. I can't justify that price for markers. I couldn't. It took me a long time to build up to it. And I would build up my collection and I was buying them. And I wouldn't recommend this, but it was cheaper. This is my toxic trait. It was cheaper per unit to buy sets. So it's cheaper per marker to buy sets. So I bought 2 big sets. I started with a small set of only like 24 Copics to kind of test them out and see if I liked them. And I did really like them. So then I invested in more over time. But definitely, I think using Kelly's and Jen's resources is really good too. All right, that's the last one. I think I'm happy with how that's looking. So cute. I did totally color outside of the lines though. Well, that's an easy fix. All right, so I'm gonna color his nose. His nose is easy. The hardest part was the body. Look at how cute he turned out. Now we're just gonna color his nose. I have 2 grays rather for that. C5 and C3. So I'll start with the C5, which is the lightest. And then I'll move on to C7. Did I say C3? Gosh, guys, my brain. C7, which is my dark, and just color the bottom of his nose. I always kind of think of pups as boys and cats as girls. I don't know why. I'm grabbing a colorless blender here. That is My husband told me that when he was a kid, that's what he thought. He thought boys or dogs were boy versions of cats. And I think everybody kind of thinks that. Everybody kind of grows up kind of thinking that. Oh, good, Kay. I'm glad you like it. Pretty simple, didn't go crazy. You could add patterns to the fur to match, you know, to kind of personalize a little bit more. I kept it very simple. All right, I'm going to call it done. So there it is, all done. Now it's time for the hat. So for the hat, we are going to start with RV6. Ooh, that's bright. That may not have been what I used before, but it's what I'm using now. I'm going to color the kind of the fur trimmed parts. Ohuhus, I had those too, Ray. I had Ohuhus too. Love them, but color doesn't match actual color, so lots of swatching, yes. And Ray, that's actually what I started with. I started with Ohuhus just to like, do I even like alcohol markers? Like, do I even like coloring them? I started with those because they're the lowest price point. But now they've gone up over the years in price. But I started with Ohuhus, and then which, if you guys don't know, they're like, you can find them on Amazon. They're cheap alcohol markers. Again, they have gone up in price over the years. And there's a lot of other alcohol marker kind of knockoffs that you could buy just to try out. My only complaint about those is like what Ray said, that they don't match. So you have to swatch them out. They don't match the caps. And I found my color started to fade over time. Like after about a year and a half, my color wasn't in the marker wasn't the same color anymore. Like I think I had like a green that went gray or something like that, something strange. So that's a good one to try. Vivian says Kelly shows 3 to 4 color blending, which is more advanced. Perfect. Yeah, they are. Kelly's a great, like, again, that's who I learned from. This is my darker shade, which is RV34. And I'm using it just to add a little shadow to the bottom of the trim and the hat, just a little, or the little ball at the end. Hopefully that didn't happen to yours, Ray. It happened to mine. The other thing I don't like about Ohuhus is just that I can't refill them. I do so much coloring that it kind of became important to me that I could refill my markers, and actually had an idea. And I also thought for quite a while I would just refill my Ohuhus with Copic ink, but I never ended up giving that a try. That was my plan for a while. I was like, I'll just refill my Ohuhus with Copic ink that's pretty similar in color. But then when I started teaching, I couldn't really do that. I felt like that was confusing to people. So I ended up just kind of going with Copics. Sorry, I went with R27 for the hat, the red part of the hat, and I'm going to finish up with R59 for a little shadow. And I'll blend it out with that R27. Are they better in Ohuhus? I started with Ohuhus too. Recently tried out Olo. Oh, Olo are. I am very tempted by Olo. The only thing that's holding me back from getting Olo is that I have so many Copics. But I've heard so many good things about Olos, and I have had some quality problems with some of my Copics. Like the lids didn't close right, and they dried out. And that is a huge bummer when you spend so much money on a marker for that to happen. And I've heard that the Olos are really, really good quality. And so I've been I'm probably, actually, to be really honest, I'm going to start purchasing some Olos. I'll start with ones that I feel like colors that I don't currently have in my Copics. And eventually I will get more. Yes, Vivian, I'm there. I'm going to get some. Yeah, I've heard really good things about those. All right, let's die cut this out. We're all done with our Copic coloring. He couldn't be cuter. Let's grab the coordinating dies here. Gosh, you guys are such an easygoing group. I feel like we're just chit-chatting here. I have the darkest of grays of Copic, so it's hard to justify another brand. Yep. I have some Spectrum. Yes, I never got into the Spectrum, but I've heard some people like those too. But I have a hard time removing the caps. Oh, interesting, Kay. I didn't realize the caps were sticky. Like I said, I don't have any Spectrum, so I haven't tried them out personally. All right, we're going to die cut these. Actually, I want to go ahead and die cut that sentiment out, so I'll grab that as well. Hello, Monica. Welcome. We were chit-chatting about alcohol markers. I use Copics, but I think I'm ready to take the plunge and get some Olos. I've heard very good things. All right, we're just going to line these up. There you go. I might need to get a stickier piece of tape here. He's not quite doing the job. I use my bits of tape over and over again until they're no longer sticky. Of course, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to pick up my children with tape stuck to my butt. So many times. That is a sign of a true card maker, I think. If you're walking around with tape stuck to you, you are a true, I know you're down the rabbit hole with me. Stuck to my sleeve. Most often I sit on them, so they're often stuck to me. Where did I put my top plate? I wonder. Where did that go? How did I lose that one, right? And I've started. So are you guys, what's the verdict out there on like Christmas? Are we a Christmas starts after Thanksgiving group? Are we as soon as Halloween's over, it's Christmas time? I think I'm as soon as Halloween's over, it's Christmas time person. Glitter on your face. Ooh, but that's cute, Monica. I bet you were cute out there with your glitter on your face. It's a little bit less cute to have tape stuck to your butt. I would take glitter on my face any day. Just as long as it's not in my eye. After Thanksgiving. Oh no, you guys you're gonna get after me. Oh, I think these things all shifted. No, but oh my gosh, I am in the minority here. You have 20 cards made already. Nice, Ray. I make Christmas cards beginning in July. Nice. Yes. See, we do. That's one thing we do as card makers. We have to kind of start our Christmas cards early. Do have to kind of do that, even if we don't put all the decorations up. Of course, don't be wrong. Don't be confused. I do not have my act together to actually have Christmas decorations up. I don't know if this cut well enough. We'll see. It kind of shifted on me. Actually don't think it's that bad. Crystal says after Thanksgiving, but in card making, I start in July. Yes, that is true. I kind of forgot about that aspect. I kind of feel like I separate the two in my brain. But I have to admit, I started watching my Hallmark Christmas movies this week. And I'm not mad about it. They're nice to kind of watch while I work because I don't have to really look at anything. They're not that complicated that I need to really pay attention. You need to make Thanksgiving. Monica, you make Thanksgiving cards? I love that. I make some too, but to be really truthful, I make all seasons cards, all occasion cards, and I never send anything because I'm horrible when it comes to sending cards. Sometimes I don't even get my cards on the gift It's terrible. But you know what I do love making that I do actually use a lot of is tags. Mary says, I have lots of Stampin' Up stamps and blends and then Aztec markers. Oh, yes. The Aztec markers I heard good things about too. Kelly Clarkson's record all year. There we go. My kiddos whine. Yeah. Yeah. My whole family doesn't. My whole family can't handle it either. I haven't started listening to Christmas music yet. Sometimes I do start before Thanksgiving, but this year I haven't started actually listening to Christmas music. I'm probably going to start though in a couple days. I'm feeling it. All right. So even though they shifted, I don't think they moved around that bad that I need to redo anything. So phew, that was good. I got lucky. I'm gonna keep them. Okay. Now let's move on to our, I'm gonna quickly glue the little hat on. Thank you. Thank you, Kay. I'm gonna glue the hat on before I lose it because that's just, I lose all the things. So let's glue that hat on real quick. I like it a little to the side, a little. So I'll put a little bit of glue here. Yikes. I should put really put a little bit of glue. I put a little too much glue. But I think that's okay. Kind of clean it up with our tweezers. Guys, tweezers. I can't tell you. These are the Hero Arts tweezers. I resisted tweezers for so long. This has been like almost learning how to use the tweezers, getting comfortable, because it just takes it's a little learning curve. But man, once you start using the tweezers, obsessed. Like I can't, there's like two, besides the Misty, like I'm like at the level of Misty with these tweezers. Misty was a game changer. Tweezers, these reverse tweezers are a game changer. And using those like Chucky tools to push over when you stamp. I become completely dependent on those things now. Christmas after Thanksgiving, daughter-in-law starts Halloween. I have gluey fingers. Ah! Oh, yeah. I bought those Olo markers. Yes, Lee, I have those. Or those Ohuhus. Ohuhus. Sold all your Stampin' Up blends. Wow. I've never used those either. Okay, so we got that glue. We're going to put that aside. I think our panel is pretty dry. Just in case yours is not, mine feels cool. So if you put your panel, the back of your panel on your forearm, if it feels cool, you know your paper's still a little damp. It's dry enough to the touch that when I touch the wax, it's not like coming off on my finger at all. So I could do the next step, I think. I'm wondering, I think I'll go ahead and do it. But if yours is not quite dry yet, you could hit it with your heat tool for a second. I think I'll hit mine with the heat tool just for a second. But I do want to warn you guys, though, that the wax will bubble up when you hit it with the heat tool, especially if it's still wet. So if you touch, hopefully you didn't touch your wax. Hopefully you touch something to the side. And if it comes on your finger, you probably don't want to use the heat tool. But mine's fairly dry. I'm just going to give it that last quick touch with the heat tool. And that feels good. But that is something to kind of keep in your tool belt or your Rolodex of ideas or techniques. that the wax does bubble up when you heat it, especially when it's fresh, like wet. It hasn't dried at all, and it creates a really cool texture. I need to do that one of these days in one of our lives, but it's very, very fun. But look at how pretty it is. And we have that one little blemish, but I'm not too worried about it. I think if I can be kind of strategic, it'll be hidden a little bit. I definitely think the ink blending that we do next will kind of hide it as well. So I have to clean my stencil. Haha, I forgot about this. So let's grab this. I guess we don't have to be bouncing around between our cards today. I thought this would take longer to dry, but it didn't. I'm just going to give this a wipe because I need it for the next step. So look, it's been sitting in the water, so it's pretty kind of cleaned itself, which is nice. Let's stick that back down. Carolyn says, I want decorations up by Thanksgiving so they're finished when that's how I feel, Carolyn. And I have 2 trees completely done, the mantle, and I'm working on my 3rd. I love it, Carolyn. I am with you. I am ready to do the same thing. I want to come home. So I am very fortunate, and we have Thanksgiving at my mom's house. And I want to come home from Thanksgiving and it be Christmas at my house. That's what I want. Well, we don't have lavender wax yet, but expect maybe a purple wax in the near future. We're working on some new colors of wax. I love how pearly they are and shiny. So pretty. And there's a lot of fun things you can do with them, like which was mentioned earlier. You can do like rub them over texture, like draw embossed things, and that's a great use of them as well. You can use them like we did here at the stencil. Sometimes people will put them on cardstock and then let it dry and then die cut, so they have these really pretty shiny metallic die cuts. All right, so I'm gonna grab my grip tool again, place my panel down, grab my stencil. So now we're going to put the stencil, but we're going to shift it. So this is kind of where, let's see if I can line this up. We didn't do it like this. How did we do it? Brain. How did we do this? Why does the X's look so different? I didn't do it like this, did I? Did I do it like that? What? I wasn't supposed to do it like that. Oh no. Well, we might have to do this twice. Darn it. If I did it the right way, I would only have to do it once, but I'm going to have to do it twice. Blast. I was supposed to do it this way, I guess. Right? Oh well, I did it wrong. Sorry about that, but it was fine. We'll be fine. So this is what it looks like lined up again. So here it's all lined right back up again with the wax. Now I had it the other way. How did I get so confused? Yeah, thank you. You helped me so much, Ray. Ray and Kay, did you guys both tell me? Yes, you both told me. I had it the other way. So this is how I have to have it. I didn't mess it up. Yay! Okay, and this is how I had it, right? Okay, yeah, everything's fine. It's all good. Okay, now I need to shift it over, and I don't have to do it twice. Thank goodness. Not that it would be the end of the world. Okay, here's it all lined up again with the wax, and I'm going to move it over. It doesn't matter which way you decide to move it over. I'm going to shift it over. So they line up with 2 of the squares, and I'm going to hold it up here to the camera here in just a second. They're not going to line up perfectly because this is not how the stencil was intended to be used. So if you have like, you'll see mine here in just a second. I'm going to do my best to get it lined up. It's not going to line up perfectly, but again, it's because it's, do we have lavender wax in the last kit, Ray? Am I like not remembering? I don't think we had lavender. But let's see. Can you see? It's not perfectly lined. I'm having a hard time showing it on camera. But there's a little teeny gap. Little teeny gaps around the squares. It's not line, you can't really tell on camera very well. I don't know why. Maybe there you can kind of see. But I just slid it over to the right. And so now I'm going to end up ink blending the cardstock as well as the, maybe it was something I didn't get right. Sometimes a lot of the people on the team don't get it. So maybe it was, and I didn't get it. Sad. I want purple. But we will have purple regularly soon. Okay, and now I'm going to grab my ink, which I have out here somewhere. Here it is. I'm using raspberry jam. And this is the cool technique here, guys. This is where it gets really cool. So not only will we ink blending the cardstock and those above and below little squares, and in here, these X's. So we're making the pattern a little bit more dimensional, a little bit more texture, a little bit neat. But I agree, Rachel. I'm sad too. And then we're also going to, it's also going to color the wax. So this is what's so cool. I had no idea that you could ink blend over the wax and then it would actually be colored. So very cool. And I should get my stand out. Let's get my stand out here. I always do this wrong. Brienne always has to help me. I always do it wrong. I don't know why. And again, we're going to end up cutting off these to the top and bottom, so you don't need to worry about getting some of this raspberry jam there. We had lavender embossing powder. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I misunderstood. We did have lavender embossing powder. Oh, that's brilliant, Ray. Ray says, sometimes I add re-inker to the white wax. So pretty. That's another thing that's so cool you can do with the wax. Yeah, we're kind of colorizing the wax a little bit, but now that it's dry, which I didn't even think you could do that. So it's really cool. Now I'm going to try this, like, what if I like made a panel of some wax and then I put layering stencils over it. So I've got to try and experiment with this more. Here we're trying it like just at basic level, but still so cool. And it really does, I think, change. It really changes the look. So we're going to have like a third color here. We'll have the color of the berry wax. We'll have the raspberry jam, 4 if you count the cardstock. We'll have the raspberry jam. We'll have the tinted wax. And 4th if you want to count the actual red of the cardstock. So we really took something that was just 2 colors, wax and red cardstock, and added 2 more colors. So cool. All right, I think that's done. Is it my table? I apologize. I'm such a heavy blender. I always get things shaken. Look at it. It looks so cool. I can't get over that. I'm going to hold it to the camera so you guys can see. Look at how neat that looks. See how we've changed the, like you can see, right? Let's go to the middle. Right here. That's the color of the wax. And then it's changed a little bit, tinted a little bit differently with that raspberry on top. And once it dries, it won't come off. But I think it dries pretty quickly. Like it's not going to come off. It's so cool. I'm obsessed. It's so cool. Okay, we'll put this aside. And again, we're going to trim off the top and bottom. And let's grab my paper trimmer to do that. And we can wrap this card up. I don't know what I was thinking with, I did not have everything. I grabbed a lot of stuff, but not all the stuff I needed today. I'm just simply going to cut off right where the pattern ends and right where it begins. So right along the edges. Though I do kind of like this like natural border that I got. But I'm going to cut it off. I'll be consistent. I do kind of like that though. Just the clean red cardstock, but I'm going to end up cutting it all off because that's what I did for the original. And you know what? I completely forgot about the blemish. It's right there. And you can't even see it. Like you can't even see it anymore thanks to all that additional interest that we added. It was embossing powder. No worries. No worries, Ray. You got Rachel and I very excited. We were like, oh my gosh. We're like typing letters to Hero. Where is our lavender Hero wax? We need it ASAP. But I agree. It even has a look. The wax even is similar to the iridescent embossing powder too. Cool. So good. All right. I have a panel. I forgot about our stocking. We still have to do that. I do have a panel of Azalea Hero Arts cardstock that we're going to use as our kind of back. Cute, right? Is this how we did it? Yeah, that's how we did it. Oh my gosh, I love it. But we need our stocking. So let's make our stocking. And you know what? I have to get up because that's something I forgot was the cardstock. So let me grab that real quick. Hopefully I have a piece of Azalea. That's not going to cut it. I need something bigger. I'm about to like redo completely. Oh, I have plenty of Azalea. Good. My cardstock situation. And I need to get on it. Yeah, right? Rachel, we were like, wait a minute. Where is this wax? Because there's a lot of times where on the creative team, we don't get the whole kits. And so you guys have a lot of stuff that we don't actually have. So it could have been very likely you had it and we didn't, Ray. That could very likely be the case. And I think for the red, I'll use this piece here. So let's cut out our stocking. I'm going to cut out the stocking twice. I don't really need to. I could just cut off the top if I want to be a little bit more. I'll try that. If I want to be a little bit more conservative with my paper, not waste so much. Ooh, let's not throw that. And let's see. Where are those dies again? What did I do with them? I've got the stamp set here. I've got the stencil here. Oh, I put it behind me. So these are also included in the card kit, as well as those two stencils, which I've only used the Argyle one today, but there's also a cable knit one. So much in those card kits. They really are jam-packed. And like when I was saying before, I really like to make tags. This is a great set for tags. It's a great set for tags, this November card kit. Okay, we're just getting the stocking, but I want to pull out all of them so you guys can see, because I know some of you don't have this kit yet. But there's the teacup. These are the included fancy dies. This is the present, which actually has a top to it. Let's see if we can get these on screen here. You're always losing your dies. I hear you, Kay. Then there's a little mug. So cute. And also this like, what would you call this? Kind of like a banner. I called it like bracketed banner that could be in the critters. The critter could be like holding it up. Really cute like that. And I actually do have them all die cut out so you can see. Here's the mug. This Icelandic. That one's really pretty. There's a teacup. Here's the present with the lid. How cute is that? And here's the stocking. We're going to do kind of the same thing, except we're going to have this be pink and that be red. So those are really great. I don't know where. I used to have a one for that too, but I don't know where that went. Okay. let's cut the whole pink one out. See if we can get here. Oh yeah, the kitten in the teacup is so cute. Okay. I think our designers love cats. They're always making cat sets, which I'm not complaining about. I am a cat lover, a cat owner too, so I like dogs too, but I'm just not, we travel too much to have a dog. Just it wouldn't be fair to the puppy. Okay, there's our stocking in the pink. Now let's do this one. And I'm going to try to just cut the top off because that's all I need. It's just the top of the stocking. Save a little bit of my red cardstock. I need to have like a Kathy Z die cutting cam. But so you have something to look at. I don't know why. I'm having lots of troubles today. With my die cutting. I don't know what that's all about. Okay. All right, there's my top. Let's grab my scissors. Just trim off the excess, that little bit of extra stocking. And we'll glue these together and we will be done with this card. I do have a card base to glue everything on too, because I try to be conservative with my Hero Arts cardstock. So I don't normally use the like colored cardstock as my card base. I'll just cut a panel and then glue it to a white card base. So that's my typical order operations. Stick that down. And I really want to be conservative. I could have done like, I don't even need all this azalea, but and this one, where does it go? Like that? Yep. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty, this panel. I love it. So much fun, such pretty texture and shine and lots of interest. Stick that down. Though I think my wax is still a little wet. That's all right. Look, that's so good. And let's finish our stocking here. And this is going to get popped up with foam adhesive, so let me grab some. Of course, that's not convenient. Why, Shannon? Why? I cleaned up too hard. All right, let's stick some foam adhesive down. And I think we're going to go ahead and glue this pup down too. Add a piece so he stays popped up a little bit. How are we doing on time? Geez, I took a long time with this. I don't know why. That doesn't take that long, but I did take a long time with this one. Oh, you're going to love it. I'm so excited for you, Mary. You're going to have so much fun playing with all these cute little critters. Let's have him peeking out of his stocking. So cute. He's going to go there. Let's go ahead and stick it down. Again, here, now I'm going to use my tweezers. Favorite way to use tweezers is to get the backing off of stuff. That's one way, or backing, I should say, specifically off of foam adhesive. I do the stab and grab technique. Kind of stab the side. See if I can show it. Stab, bend, and grab it right off. So easy. And we'll stick this down. That looks pretty centered. And then I do want to add some foam adhesive to the sentiment as well. I like all that dimension. I feel like it's worth the extra little bit of trouble. And I'm going to bend this one so it's doubled up. So bend it on itself. So it's actually doubled up. And we'll put that the very end because that's going to hang off. So it's going to need that extra bit of foam to pop it up. Now we'll do that to the other end in just a second here. Not bend it, but add a little second piece so it's supported. So that the ends have 2 layers of foam adhesive. And that's because we popped up that stocking as well, and those ends will hang off of it. All right. That completes the card. So cute. And this one could be done with any other critter as well. Instead of if you didn't want the puppy, if you wanted to maybe personalize, maybe the person who you're giving this to has a cat, probably doesn't have a reindeer or a fox, but maybe their last name is Fox. So that would work. But that would be fun. I love that you can do that with this kit. It's just you have a bunch of different critters to choose from. So that's that card. And again, that technique of ink blending over the wax is so cool. I can't wait to try it on some other cards. It's gonna be very fun. All right, card number 2. So this one we are featuring the November Color Layering Stencils. Let me grab them here. This is what it looks like. Pull them out. They're so pretty. I love them so much. Look at how beautiful this design is. There's 4 stencils in this set. So this is also a subscription. It's still available. If you subscribe, if you get it now, if you order now, you'd get the November. And you can also be subscribed for December, which, what did it look like? I'm trying to remember. Oh, the December one is stunning, guys. Stunning. It's so pretty. I cannot wait till you guys see the kit. Can't wait. That'll be next after this card. Each stencil has registration marks, making it easy to line up with the other layers. And they're also labeled. You can see this one says LS for layering stencil, 11 for November, 24 for the year, and it has 1. So that's 1. This is 2, 3. I'm not sure if I'm catching the line on there. Kind of see it. 3 and 4. Okay, so we're going to actually start with a piece of sand cardstock. So this is kind of like Hero Arts Craft. It is lighter than craft cardstock, which I love. There's so many possibilities you can do with it. No worries, Ray. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad you were able to make it. And I need my, oops, dropping things. We're going to use this guy again. Stick that down. And let's, since I'm starting with a panel that's smaller than where the registration marks, all I'm going to do is just eyeball this. Registration marks are really helpful with some stencils. For this one, it's pretty easy to eyeball. The only thing I'm going to make sure is that my design is kind of centered. So right now I have it over this way a little bit, so I need to move it this way. So I'm just going to get it centered. And once I do this kind of first layer, the other ones will be a little bit easier. This would even be easier if I started with the larger panel and just did the registration marks, but I already had this panel of sand cut out, so I'm just going to use that. Okay, and I do want to make sure that another important thing with these layering stencils is to make sure you have the Hero Arts legible and in the lower right corner. Because if you have these flipped over, you're actually ink blending or using the backside of the stencil, you have the backside of the stencil facing up, your layers are not going to layer up correctly. So that's something to keep in mind with layering stencils, that you have it the right side up. That's definitely more important than whether you're starting with stencil 1 or 2. Having it right side up is very important. All right, for the first layer, this is the berry. So we're going to do some red. We're actually going to do 2 reds. I have a lighter red crimson and a darker red cranberry. We're going to start with crimson. Let's grab our stand. And I'm going to simply ink blend the whole thing with crimson. And I'll show you how we bring in that second color in just a second. But we'll start with just the base with that crimson. And again, because this cardstock is a lighter craft, these colors are more vivid on it. They're still a little bit, I would say, jewel toned, but they're not as dark as they would be if you started with a really dark piece of craft paper. So that's why I love the Hero Art sand, because it's a little bit lighter, which means your colors are a little truer to their intended look, or when they're used on top of white. All right, we're just about done here. And did I show this card? I showed it at the beginning. Let me show it one more time that we're making. So here's the card we're making. And right now we're doing the base with that crimson, or that red, I should say. And this is stencil 1. All right. Now that we've just kind of ink blended all over the stencil with cranberry, crimson, we're now going to move on to cranberry. I picked the 2 inks with very similar names, crimson and cranberry. So grab the cranberry. This one's a little bit darker. And we're going to add a little bit of color, a little bit of this darker red to the berries, just to give them a little bit more dimension. And you know what? I'm going to swap up to my smaller brush. This is a little too big. I'm going to use the Hero Arts. This is the small blending brush. Cranberry is a really pretty color. And I'm not even though I switched to the smaller brush, I'm not worried if I get some of the accents here, these flourishes. If I get a little of those colored with the cranberry, that's totally okay. I just don't want it completely everything being colored with cranberry. I want some gradations. I want some interest. I want it to be, the color to be a little broken up. By adding a little darker color really is going to step up this stencil. I'm trying to hold my table. My camera's not shaky, but my table's so shaky. I have so those of you who don't know, I'm a dining room crafter. And my dining room table is a vintage old table. And she's just a little bit wobbly. She's just a little wobbly. Oh, I can't pick up anything. There we go. All right, let's remove this stencil. perfect. It adds a little bit of interest, a little, I don't know if you guys see, it's just not completely flat red. There's a little gradation. So pretty. It's subtle, but I can tell and I love it. Now we're going to move on to stencil number 2. And this is the one that's going to be green because you can see those leaves. Line this up. The design is easy to line up because the berries kind of, you end up covering the berries just so. So it's pretty simple to kind of get that lined up. That's it. I have the Hero Arts in the lower right corner. We're good. I have 2 greens picked out for this as well. We have Fresh Lawn and a Pine. So again, a light and a dark. We'll start with our light. And we're going to ink blend the Fresh Lawn all over. I love layering stencils. They're so fun and easy. And then there's just a lot of techniques you can do with them. You can do the ink blended gradations. Like we're throwing everything at this stencil today. We're doing ink blended gradations. We'll also be incorporating a texture medium. We'll be using Hero Arts paste. So we used the wax earlier, but now we're going to be using the paste with this stencil. And then it's fun to add additional details to stenciled images with either Copics or a white gel pen. We'll be doing that as well. So we're going to really step this up. And that's one of my favorite things to do with stencils is just kind of adding all those additional layers. Can you ink blend cranberry separately? Yeah, you could. You couldn't. If you mean like clean and then do the cranberry on top? You could have just done cranberry all by itself, but the little bit of cranberry that I did do, I just did a little bit. I didn't completely ink blend the whole thing. Added, oh, my paper's here. It kind of adds a little. See how they're like a little darker? It's subtle. It's super subtle. You could even go darker than cranberry if you want more drama. It adds just a little gradation to those berries and makes them look a little more rounded. All right, that's my base with the Fresh Lawn. Now we're going to grab our darker. Now there is a big jump. This is where you're going to really see the gradation. So I know admittedly, the Crimson Cranberry, they're not too, the cranberry is not that much darker than the crimson, so the gradation wasn't as obvious. This Pine is a lot darker than the Fresh Lawn. You're going to really see the tonal shifts with this because there's a lot more contrast. And I think you'll really see the interest that popping in a little gradation, which I think is really easy to do with these stencils, does. So stencil's still in place. The Fresh Lawn ink is still residual on the stencil. I don't need to clean it or anything. I'm going to grab my, oh, is that what you mean? Can you purchase them separately? Yes, that's what you can. You can purchase all these inks in as a single ink pad. Yes. And we do have a lot of these in cubes too, but the cubes are sold in a set of 4. So if you did want the cubes, like if you wanted crimson and cranberry, you'll have to see. I'm not sure if they're included, even though they're reds. We have so many reds. I'm not sure if they're included in the same set of 4 of reds, but we do have ink cubes as well, but they're sold in sets of 4. But if you do a search, I believe on the website, like if you just type in crimson, if a cube set has crimson in it or cranberry in it, you'll find it. So that's the other problem. So normally that would work, Kay, but when we switched over and had our website closed down, a lot of products did not get put back on the page. And I think cranberry might be one of them because I couldn't even link it in the instructions. So I apologize. We still have cranberry. I just did a search for it too. We still have cranberry, but they're still working on getting everything relisted. So we still have all those inks. I apologize. We're still trying to get back to our website working like it once did. And there's a lot of products that didn't get relinked. So I will add crimson. I think crimson and cranberry are one of the ones. Yeah, during the merger. Yeah. They need to get it fixed ASAP. I agree. So I will make a note and let them know. Let me write that down real quick. I know cranberry, and you guys are saying crimson. You know, I'll just write it down and I'll check too. Crimson, cranberry. I was hoping by the time that we had the slide that they got that fixed up, but no, it's still missing. Oh, it's not chestnut paper, Cynthia. It's sand. Let's see if sand is there. The paper I'm using right now is sand. I don't think we had chestnut. Okay, sand is still there. So that's good. Pop that into the link. And I think the other browns that we have are Cup of Joe, and there might be one more brown. But we don't have a lot of brown cardstocks. Oh, here we go. We have Cup of Joe and Woodland, but no chestnut. The brown that I'm using right now is sand. And I just put that in the link. Okay, so I've got my little ink brush here loaded up with the pine, and I'm going to do a ink blend over these. So I'm kind of thinking of one of these as little squares, and I want to do a little ink gradation over these squares. So I kind of like to do the corners. So I'm going to do a little up here. Oh, yeah. Let's do a little down there. Oh, my gosh. It's going to be so good. I cannot wait for you guys to see it. So a little bit on the corners. And now I'm going to do opposite corners here just to keep things interesting. We'll do this corner and this corner. And we'll go back to our original two corners. See, the main thing I want to make sure is that I don't have everything blended with the pine. I just want to get it touches of it here and there, but still keep that fresh lawn in places, that true fresh lawn. And I'm going really heavy-handed with the pine just because I want it to be as dark as I can get it. All right, I think we're almost there. Sometimes I'll just do one corner. They don't always have to do two. All right, let's see. All right, I think I'm happy with that. Let's take this off and let's see what it looks like. Ooh. Can you see the subtle shifts in color? Like it's darker here, lighter green. Isn't it so pretty? Oh my gosh, this is so festive, right? Oh, I love it. So, so cool. And that sand cardstock is so pretty. All right. We only have 2 more stencils to go. Next is stencil 3, of course. But now we're starting into the snowflakes. There's 2 layers for those. The first stencil here, I'm actually going to do in blues. So I'm going to line this up. How does this go? How do you go? Oh, okay. Kind of goes in the negative space between some of those flourishes that we did. The red, above the red, just above the red. I think that's good enough. All right, so again, 2 blues, and I'm going to do a gradation. It does look like shortbread. I love that description. The blues we're going to do are Summer Sky and Deep Ocean. And these blues, all the colors I used today, the 2 reds, the 2 greens, the 2 blues, they can be any ones you have. They don't have to be these colors. You just want a light color and a darker color. That's really all you need. We'll start with our light and grab our blending brush here. Load it up, and I'm just going to do a basic blend over the whole thing with this Summer Sky. Maybe I can move it over so you can see the name on the screen. There you go. Going to do our base with that lighter blue. All right, almost done with that Summer Sky. Alrighty, I'm gonna leave the stencil on. I need to get my darker blue, which is Deep Ocean. This one's mega drama. This one's super dark, much darker than the Summer Sky. So we're gonna have lots of drama here. Do I want a smaller one? I think I want a smaller blending brush. Probably would have been fine with a bigger one, but I like the smaller ones for this. It just makes my life easier. So this time we're going to do the ink blended, the gradation a little different. I want to do it across the top of all of these snowflakes. So that's where I'm going to put this darker color. And again, I'm going to end up getting a little bit of the pattern, the design. Totally okay with that. In fact, I like that. I like a little bit of that darker blue on that, so it's not all lighter blue. Now move down to our other row of snowflakes. Same thing, do the tops of those. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so pretty. I can't wait till you guys see it. I'm on my third row of snowflakes here. These ones are only half wet. You only have half of them, so I'm not counting them as a whole row. And I'm not going to actually, I don't think I'm going to ink blend the snowflakes, but I might ink blend the tops of the design just because I feel like I need to break up that lighter blue a little bit. And now we'll do the tops of these snowflakes. And I'm going to do the tops of these flourishes. I don't know why. I just feel like it needs some of that darker color. Even though it's not very consistent with how I've been doing the pattern, but that's okay. All right, let's pull this off. Oh yeah, big drama. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. You see how those snowflakes are darker at the top and lighter? Isn't that pretty? So simple and so pretty. I love it. And you could totally stop here. This could be where you stop with this design. There's no reason that you have to do the fourth stencil. The fourth stencil will add another layer to the snowflake, but it looks so pretty just like this. You could totally stop here. But we're going to do one more because we can. Stick that back down. So this final stencil, now we're going to bring in the paste. So I'm going to place my stencil down and it gets lined up. It goes right above the green kind of flourishes in the design, centered right over our blue stencils. Grab my paste here. Question is, where did my palette knife go? It's not in my bucket of water, because that would make sense, right? The paste I'm using today is Hero Art's white paste, but there's also this is white pearl. So it's gonna have a really pretty pearly look, but there's also just plain Hero paste, which is white. So we have the white pearl, we have the plain Hero paste, which is white. We have a gold Hero paste as well, and a glitter Hero paste. So we have 4 different Hero pastes. They come in this big container like this. This is 4 ounces. It will last you for quite a while. I really like the paste. I find it really easy to work with. It's probably, out of the wax and the paste, I prefer the paste, but the colors in the wax are so pretty. That's why I keep being drawn to the colors. But the paste I find is the easiest to work with. You can also colorize the paste like you can with the wax. I'm going to have to not use my metal palette knife because I don't know where it is. I'll have to use one of the Hero Arts plastic ones, which is fine. I think I might prefer the metal one a little bit more than the plastic one, but I've lost my metal one. So this one, again, is the white pearl. So it has a little pearly look to it. And just like with the wax, I find my results are better if I don't fuss around too long. It's just like the more time I mess with it, the longer I take, it ends up I'm messing with it too much. And more likely I have seepage underneath my stencil. So it's just better if I try to go as fast as I can. All right, I think I'm good with that. Let's stop messing. I need to stop messing. So I try to, when I put my leftover back, I try to put it as far down into the meat of the paste is, and kind of keep it all together. It's going to keep things moist as long as possible. And I'm in Arizona, so I find I still can get a lot of use out of my paste before it dries up. Then I always, again, in Arizona, you can use a plastic, like press and seal or saran wrap to put it on top and then seal it up. But what I like to do is also spray couple sprays of water and then close it up. And that does a good job for me. I should have removed this. I shouldn't have talked. I should have removed it first, but we're fine. Oh my gosh, it turned out so good. I need to clean my hands a little bit here and I'll hold it to the camera. Hello to the zoo. Oh my gosh, it's a great day to go to the zoo. I'm also in Arizona. I just said that, so that makes it, that's obvious. I forgot. I was talking about that when I was doing the paste. We used to have a membership to the zoo too. I loved that. It was so nice to go. And this is This is a great time of the year to go. I'm just cleaning off the little bit of excess paste that I have on the sides, kind of built up on the sides. But I think that's about it. Look at how pretty it looks. I mean, it looks flawless. It looks so good. I'm obsessed. It's so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna put that aside and let it dry. And do a quick cleanup. And I knew it, but I was just kind of rolling so much with that first card. I knew I should have stopped that first card and started the second one, because now we got to let that kind of dry. But we will do our best to leave it alone and try to keep working along with the card, because we still have to stamp this and ink blend a little bit. The problem is like, where is it going to go? I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. I'm going to try to dry it with my heat tool. Doesn't normally take too long to dry. I'm going to speed it up. I really think that's the best thing. We could try to guesstimate where the center is going to go, but it's so risky. So risky. So I'm going to try to dry with my heat tool. Putting a large... Cynthia says, did you see Tim Holt's suggestion about putting a large rubber band around the paste? What? Like the top? It just so happened to have a large rubber band, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get it off of here. I'm going to have to go look that up, Cynthia. That's a good tip. I have to go see. He definitely knows. He's in Arizona too. He's in Prescott, so not down here in the valley, but it's still dry up there. He still deals with dry conditions too. I'll have to give that a test, or at least look that up. I'm not sure how he's using it, but we could use all the help we can get, right, to keep our mediums moist so we can use them as long as possible. Where the lid meets the jar. Oh, okay. I'm going to give that a try. Thank you, Cynthia. I'll have to look that up. I'll have to try it out. Okay, I'm going to try to dry this with my heat tool. So I'm going to try to dry the paste. Now, the paste will not bubble up. So remember how I told you the wax would bubble up? If this happened to be wax right now, and it was as wet as the paste is right now. So if this was wax, it would be bubbling up when I try to heat set it. The paste won't. So I don't have to worry about that. Let's see. How are we doing here? Did it dry? Let it cool down for just a second. He used number 82 bands, I think. I did order some, but only got a few of my pastes done. All right. Well, I love this solution. I'm going to totally give it a try. I'm so excited about this. Well, guys, this is completely dry. That's awesome. Yay. I usually just let my pastes just air dry. But this is completely dry. The heat tool worked beautifully. It's ready to go. I love it. And I'm dropping things. I'm throwing things. Okay. So let's go ahead and cut this out now. So I'm going to use, to make my little window, I'm using the Pointed Arches Infinity dies. This, however, is not included in the card kit. It's not included in the layering stencils that we use. So this is an additional item. You could use any nesting die you have to cut this window. It does not have to be this pointed arch shape. It could be a circle. It could be a square. It could be a rectangle. Any shape you have will work. Could even be a heart. Could be a Christmas tree. If you happen to have nesting Christmas trees, think how cute that would be in the center. I love that idea. A snowflake would also work. And I believe I used this one here. Yep. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yep, that's it. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's the 10th largest. I'm just going to center it. And use a couple pieces of tape to hold it in place, and I'll die cut this out. There we go. So I'll die cut that out now. Perfect. Put that aside. That'd make a cute little tag though, wouldn't it? Cute little Christmas tag. Definitely going to use that. I love that idea. I'm definitely going to use that. And put that over there. All right. And now for our card base. I have one here all ready to go. But now that we have this cut out, we'll have a better idea of where we need to ink blend, where we want to stamp our sentiment. I actually like to ink blend first and then stamp my sentiment. That just makes sure I don't accidentally activate the stamped sentiment ink with my ink blended ink and then get like, since the sentiment will be black, I'll have like black smudgy color everywhere. So I think for it's just better to stamp last, stamp your sentiment last. And we're going to do a soft light blend with Mist. One of my favorite inks from Hero Arts is a soft blue, like a sky blue. It's so pretty. I basically know I need to be in the center. I'm not going to do a pencil line. It could show it. And then once you ink blend over the pencil line, the pencil is permanent. So I'm going to avoid any of that trouble. Oh, you're still waiting for a kit. Oh, I hope it comes soon. Gosh, I was hoping more of you guys would have your kits by now. I hope it comes very, very soon. Where's my blending brush? Here it is. Nope, that's not it. There it is. I see it. I had all my blending brushes out, but they got moved around. Okay. And the sentiment from that I'm using here is actually from a stamp set that came out in our holiday catalog release. It's the Swirly Christmas Tree set. You'll see it in just a second here, but that's the sentiment. That's where that sentiment came from. But you could totally use the Merry Christmas from the kit or the Happy Holidays from the kit, the card kit, but it's too big to fit in the window, so you would have to either stamp it, die cut it, and just place it over the window, or stamp it and die cut it and cut it to fit, or cut the stamp. I know a lot of people don't like to do that, but I have no problem cutting my stamps, especially if it'll mean I will use them more. Okay, I think that's good. Let's see. Oh yeah, perfect. It's just a little blue. Oh, you received yours last week? Yay. I'm so glad to hear that. All right, I have to get up again because this is the one I knew I forgot. I forgot so much stuff. All right, I'm back. I found it. My Swirly Christmas Tree stamp set is very well loved and used, so don't judge it too harshly. It's very stained and loved and used. I've actually used it to teach a couple classes and things, so I've used it to kit. It's been pulled through the ringer, but it works well. There are coordinating dies for this, so I could die cut that sentiment out, but I'm going to stamp it right in the center. Let's grab our Misty. Open her up here. Pop that in there. That in there. That looks pretty good. So I don't have the panel glued onto my card base yet, but I have it in here so I know I have my window so I know where to stamp this sentiment. Just going to put it right in the center. I think that's good. Yep, I think that looks straight. Just going to move it up a tad. Pick it up with my Misty. Now I can remove this panel. Yeah, I'm glad too, Sandy, but I do wish you all had your kits though. Like, it's kind of the end of the month, so I hope they are coming very, very soon. Everything's so new. I'm sure things will get better and faster. It was kind of a bit crazy there, moving the whole warehouse down to Arizona and doing a monthly release all at the same time. So, and as you can tell, our website's still not quite all up to date because we don't have all of our products listed. But I'm hoping soon we'll get things figured out here. Back to normal anyways. All right, stamped it a couple times. Look how perfect that looks. All right. Sherry said she just got hers. Awesome. I'm glad to hear some of you are getting yours. And then, yeah, that must be comforting though, right, to know you're not the only one who didn't get it. Be like, what happened? They forget me? All right. Look at how, oh, I love it. It looks so good. All right. I'm almost done with this card. We now, like, remember when I told you there was 3 ways we were stepping up the stencil? One was the gradations, which we did with all the layers, except for the 4th stencil, which is the next technique that we stepped this up with, which was the Hero Paste. Perfect. And then last one was this is what we're going to do now, which is adding details. We are going to add details with a white gel pen, but also a Copic marker. And it's very easy to do. I mean, we were kind of like freehanding it, but it's very easy to do. I just lost my marker. Here it is. Let's start with our Copic. All I'm going to do is add a line, like a vein for the leaves of all the holly leaves. A frame would be so pretty, Sherry. I love that idea. So just going to add a little vein. I'll do this one, and that wasn't perfect, but we're still doing it. That's where that one is. See, just those little veins. Cute, right? Just adds that little detail, little texture, little bit more interest. So simple to do. Don't be afraid to turn your paper too. That can help you sometimes get your lines the way you want them to go. The natives are getting restless. I hear my kids giggling in the bedroom. They've been doing so good. They're so good. They're so patient with the lives. They find lots of ways to entertain themselves, though. But if you hear a little giggling, that's my girls in the back playing. All right, so there's all the veins done on the leaves. Already stepped them up a bit. And then the last thing we're going to do is a white gel pen highlight. But the gel pen is kind of like a paint almost. It's very liquidy and it takes longer to dry. So I'm actually going to probably stick this onto my card front and then do the gel pen highlight. So let's grab our foam adhesive because I got to pop this up, right? We can't just glue it right down. Got to add some dimension. There's the game I play with myself. Can I eyeball the perfect strip? Oh, did pretty darn good. We'll add a couple around the frame, just to the window, I mean, to just support it a little bit more. That's it. I think that's all I need. I need my tweezers, of course. Gotta do my stab and grab to get the backing off the foam adhesive. Oops, that one failed. There we go. I can hear them giggling and screaming. Not sure if you guys can. They're definitely having fun. All right, now we're going to stand up because I cannot get this centered seated. It's just impossible for me to do that. All right, last two things. So I already told you about the white gel pen. We're going to do that real quick, but I also want to add some white hero pearls. This hero pearls is actually included in the November card kit, so you'll actually get that in the card kit as well. Okay, let's add a little highlight, just a highlight to those berries. Look at how cute they look. It makes it kind of separates them. They could look kind of like a blob, but adding the little highlight starts to distinguish each berry from the other one. I have to remember to do this to my little tag too that I saved. And I am using, by the way, this has been a game changer for me. I'm using a number 10. See the 10 right there? 10 jelly roll. This, I used to have so much, my jelly rolls would always clog all the time. so frustrating. I could never understand how people were adding these beautiful, smooth white highlights, and I couldn't even like draw a quarter of an inch with my jelly roll before it clogged. This number 10, it's a bigger point. It's a larger tip, essentially. Game changer for me, right? Game changer. It doesn't clog at all. Like it never clogs. It's amazing. And you can buy a whole pack of just 10s, but 8s are still too small. So they can even get down to a 5-point, but the 10 is the best one. That's been a big game changer for me. I can't sing enough praises about a number 10. But yeah, the gel pen adds a nice, look at those berries. They're all popping. They look so good. Last thing, this is definitely over the top. I'm going to add the white hero pearls to the center of all of our snowflakes. I'm going to get this going a little bit just because sometimes there's air bubbles. I've got some scrap paper here. It's just, okay, it's going. Look at how pretty that is. Can you see? I got a shadow for my hand. Well, look at that. It's so beautiful. I love these hero pearls. I love them. All right, we'll just add, I'm even going to add it to this corner. I do these pearls very last because this is the thing I'm most likely to, there's nothing you can do to hurry up the drying of the pearls. You just got to let it dry. So I'll do them last and then put this card high on the shelf so I don't bump it until those pearls completely dry. And I'll hold up to the camera then once I get it done. So you can see. Yeah, Deborah, it's a game changer for me. Oh, Cheryl said she got hers about a week ago, made several cards plus with different animals. Oh, I love that. And a kit and the die means it can be used for exactly, Cheryl. Exactly. That's what I keep trying to point out because I think the animals could be used for so many different occasions, especially birthday with that present. The teacups, the cups don't, to me, they could be used for other things, I think, as well. Like the cups don't read Christmassy. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's hold this up so you can see. Can you see those pearls? Oh, so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty, right, guys? I love it. 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 I'm going to put that away to the side. Let it dry. All right. Those were our 2 cards. We made this one. My other one is going to dry. Well, here's the last one. Here's the first one I made. You can see it all dried. So we made these 2 cards. This first one with the November card kit of the month. This one with the November Color Layering Stencils of the month. Now I'm going to show you the December card kit of the month. I'm so excited that I get to show you this. You guys are getting the first peek of this kit. It won't be available for purchase until December, but if you are already signed up, if you got the November card kit of the month, then you are signed up for the December card kit. So you're already signed up for this if you did sign up for the November card kit of the month. You can always opt out. I believe you need to go to your account to set that up, but that's how we used to do it. So hopefully, I know you can still opt out if you don't want a month, but you will have to, there might be a different procedure to do that. But I think you guys are going to love this December card kit. I think you're going to love it. But if you haven't purchased the November card kit and you see the December card kit that I share here in just a second, just remember you can't purchase it till December 1st. That's when it becomes available for purchase. So let's pull that out. You guys have waited long enough, very patiently. I have a box here for it. Okay. Grab a piece of paper to show you. So just like the November card kit of the month, there is a 6x8 stamp set. Let me pull that out. It's a beautiful set, really pretty images. Here is the set. Hold it up to the camera so you can see. A really pretty set with, you have a very almost like line drawing kind of style, like loose and gestural a little bit. I love it. So pretty. Sunflower. We have a dancer, a peacock feather, this really pretty image here of the girl with the balloons. And I apologize. I've been making cards like crazy. So these are not all lined up again. Let's see if I can get them. So these stamps lined back up again. So they're a little bit easier to see. When they get kind of offset, it's hard to see them. Just take me a second here. Didn't realize how off they were. They looked good at first. And then it's like, once I put that white paper, I'm like, oh my gosh, these are not lined up. They're so pretty, right? Margot, they're really pretty. Okay, there, that's much better. So this really pretty girl here holding these heart balloons. I love her. We have a butterfly, a heart, a pinwheel, this kite, love that, a hummingbird, and a larger butterfly. So really pretty images, unique, I think very kind of classic hero art kind of style, bringing you a unique approach to some kind of familiar, very familiar kind of images that you have in card making. They just have a great way of doing it differently. And of course, a bunch of sentiments, line drawings, exactly. Exactly, Sherry, exactly. They look kind of like yeah, exactly. You can't lift your pencil. They look so much like that. I love it. Very kind of an artistic take on these images. So we have sentiments, you color my world, hello there, thank you, you're amazing, and of course this large, beautiful, very pretty. And there are coordinating dies. So there are coordinating dies for all of those images. Let me grab the die set here. Look at that, tons of dies, right? There's a lot of images here. So you have a ton of dies for every one of the images, as well as all of the sentiments. All the sentiments have a coordinating die, even that large, beautiful here. There's coordinating dies for all of that. You can actually, Pamela, even though this live is going on right now, you should be able to have like a bar at the bottom of the screen that you can just kind of pull back, a scroll bar, and you can kind of pull back to the beginning and start it over. But of course, once this live is done, you can watch the replay immediately. So you can stick with us right now in the live, or you can just scroll, hit the scroll bar at the bottom, move it, drag it all the way back to the beginning and start over, or just wait till we finish. We're checking out the December card kit of the month. And this is a sneak peek. The kit won't be available till December 1st. So you guys are getting an early look at this. So a ton of dies. Coordinate that awesome 6x8 stamp set. Also included is this beautiful, let me get some paper behind here. Kind of fancy die. Look at how pretty it is. It's like a sun with some flowers. You have sky, and then I had it die cut out here, but I guess I put it someplace else. Shoot. Some land behind, some like hills behind the flowers. Super pretty. I love this. Let me show you what it looks like on a A2 panel. So this is my A2 panel grid. And look at that. So pretty. It could be the focal point of your card, no problem. And it would work so well with these sentiments in this set, or it does work so well. So I've used it a ton. Love this You Color My World. I think that works so good with this die. This is a great die for paper piecing. So fun. Even could be turned into a shaker card very, very easily. Super cute. And then there's some more fun things included in this kit in addition to this die. Also included is a very handy Hero Arts watercolor palette. Very, very awesome. maybe I'll show you guys one card. Maybe I'll show you one sneak peek card, just so you can understand the next things that I show you. This is a great, I use these all the time. I can't have enough of them. Honestly, I have one for my liquid watercolors and like one for my neon liquid watercolors, one for my regular Hero Arts liquid watercolors. And now I have one dedicated to my Hero Arts reactive inks. And included in this kit are 5 reactive ink reinkers. I'm going to put them in rainbow order here. You guys, these are awesome. So even if you don't have the ink pads that these go with, you can do so much with just these reinkers. But if you do happen to have the ink pads, that's like a bonus, because now you have the reinker for these ink pads as well. I love these so much. There's so much you can do with them. I love the Hero Arts reactive inks, and I'm super stoked to have the reinkers as well to play with. And I'm really happy that you guys will now get them, because I love doing techniques with them. I already own the reactive ink reinkers, but I know a lot of people don't always get the reinkers. So I'm so excited that you guys will have them now too. And you can do so many techniques with them. So I'm excited. So first reactive reinker this is Fruit Punch, one of my favorite colors. He's kind of a corally orangey red. I love it so much. Next up, this one's going to be used a ton because it's yellow and just it's a primary color. You're going to use it a bunch, and it's a lighter shade. It's just handy. This is Lemon Drop. So good. Oh, yes, you need, Brennan, yes, you need the ink pads. Then we have Green Apple. This is a beautiful, like Kelly green, so pretty. Then this blue is one of my favorites. This is Blue Hawaii. And then lastly, I know this looks like gray or yellow even, but I promise I think it just kind of stains the container a little bit, but this is a purple, and it's one of our prettiest purples. It's the Purple Galaxy. So, so pretty. So you get those 5 reactive ink reinkers. So awesome. And I'm going to show you a card with them, because just so you can see. So I use them a ton during this release. These 5 colors, that's all I use, to a ton of watercoloring. And I forgot how much I love to watercolor. It's been a while. All right, you guys are really getting the sneak peek. So here is a card I made with the kit. I watercolored these images with these reactive inks. I just squeezed them out into the palette, watercolored with them. So easy, so fun. It really is a stunning purple. It doesn't look stunning here, but it's so pretty. You can see the true color of that purple here. So fun. It's a really pretty color. I know, the hummingbird, right? It's a beautiful image. And then I can show you this too. This I watercolored with the inks as well. And I die cut it out of watercolor paper. So that's what that looks like. Does the pigment separate? These are included. These are included in the kit. Everything you see right here is the December card kit of the month. This is what you're going to get. The 6x8 stamp set, the coordinating dies, which are a ton. The dies not only cut out all the images, but also all the sentiments. You'll get this awesome fancy die. You can see it here. Die cut out and watercolored in. You'll get a palette, Hero Arts palette, and you'll get all 5 of these reactive reinkers, reactive ink reinkers. So a lot in the kit. Yeah, very fun. I have maybe one more card I can show you. Do I have one more card here? Oh yeah, I have one more card to show you. You guys are really, I'm showing you the cards. I don't normally do that. Here's another fun one that I made. The backgrounds with the reactive inks as well. Made a fun, splishy, splashy background. And then I stamped this and watercolored this kite. So lots of fun things. Again, the kit won't be available to December 1st, But if you got the November card kit, you are subscribed and you will get the December card kit as well. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Let me pop back to my forward one. Is there any questions? I hope you guys enjoyed creating those 2 cards with the November card kit with me. These guys here. And as well as taking a look at the December card kit of the month. Let's see if there's any questions. Oh, thank you, Pamela. That's so kind. That's really, really kind. All right, guys, if there are no questions, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today, making those cards and looking at the December card kit of the month. I will see you guys in the next live. We're going to have a couple lives coming up with the release. I'll do a overview live of all the cards as well. So look for that. December 2nd is usually when we do those. So, and I hope if I'm not, I don't think I'll be live again. I hope those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving have a wonderful Thanksgiving this week. And I will see you guys around December 2nd. Thank you guys so much. You were so kind. And I'll see you guys again soon. Bye, everyone. Oh, there we go. Have to hit the button twice.